My name is Olivia Sterling. I'm 28 years old, and 13 years ago, my father looked me in the eye and said something I'll never forget. Get out. I don't need a sick daughter like you. I was 15 years old, soaking wet from a terrible storm, with nowhere to go. The reason? My younger sister told a calculated lie that my parents believed without question, and just like that, I was erased. What makes this story remarkable isn't just how I survived that night, it's what happened next, how one person's choice to see potential instead of problems became the foundation for everything I've built since. If this story resonates with you, please like and subscribe. Drop a comment below telling me where you're watching from. Now, let me take you back to where it all began. I learned early that in our house, Madison's tears were always louder than my achievements. When I was 11, I won first place at the regional science fair with a project on water filtration systems. I ran home so proud, burst through the door to show my mom. She hugged me and said, "That's wonderful." Then Madison walked in from dance practice, face red, tears streaming. I messed up my pirouette. Everyone laughed at me. My mom's arms left me. She knelt down and pulled Madison close. I stood there holding my blue ribbon, waiting for someone to ask about it. No one did. That was the pattern. Madison needed attention. Madison was sensitive. I learned to celebrate quietly, to need less. By age 14, I'd stopped showing them anything. When I got accepted into a prestigious summer science camp on a full scholarship, my dad barely looked up. "That's nice, Olivia." Madison burst into tears. "Why does she get to go away? That's not fair." My mom asked if I could skip it because my sister needed me. I didn't go. They said it was about family unity. I learned to be small, quiet, undemanding, but the breaking point was coming. The lying started small. Madison, now 12, borrowed my things and denied it. Money went missing from Mom's wallet. $50. Madison said she saw me near it that morning. I hadn't been. I'd left early. My dad called me into his study. "Did you take money from your mother?" "No, I didn't. Madison says you did." "Madison's lying," I said. His jaw tightened. "Don't accuse your sister." But I didn't. "Enough." His voice cut through mine. "I'm disappointed in you, Olivia. I thought you were better than this. I lost my phone for a month and that promised summer camp was gone. We can't trust you with independence right now," my mom said. Madison watched from the stairs and smiled when they weren't looking. That stolen $50 was just a test run. Madison was learning she could get away with anything. The pattern escalated. A broken vase was my fault. A failed test Madison didn't study for meant I should have helped her. A rumor at school about Madison cheating meant I must have started it. I stopped defending myself. What was the point? They believed her tears over my truth every time. By 15, I felt like a ghost in my own house, present but invisible unless they needed someone to blame. I spent more time at the library, at school, anywhere but home. Then came October of my junior year. There was a boy named Jake in my AP chemistry class. He'd asked me for help a few times and I'd stayed after class to explain stoichiometry. That was it. Just homework help. Madison had a massive, obsessive crush on him. She'd walked past my classroom just to see him. She'd practiced writing his name with hers in her diary. On Tuesday, Jake thanked me at my locker and asked if we could study together for the midterm. Sure. Library works. He walked away. I turned and saw Madison 20 feet down the hall, staring at me, her face completely pale. That night at dinner, she barely spoke, just pushed food around her plate. I should have known her silence was dangerous. On Thursday, I had a visiting lecturer in my biology class, Dr. Eleanor Smith from the State University. She was talking about educational equity research. I stayed after to ask questions. She seemed impressed. "You have a curious mind," she said, handing me her card. "Don't let anyone dim that light." I smiled and thanked her. I had no idea she would save my life. A week later came that Friday. The storm warning started. A big one was coming. Everyone was preparing. Madison still wasn't talking to me. The rain started around 6 p.m. We ate dinner in silence. Weather alerts kept buzzing, wind advisories, flood warnings. After dinner, I went to my room. Around 8 p.m., I heard crying downstairs. Madison, loud, heaving sobs. I froze and listened. My mom's voice was soothing. "Sweetheart, what's wrong?" My dad's voice came sharp and angry. "Olivia, get down here now!" My stomach dropped. I walked downstairs slowly. Madison was on the couch, face buried in my mom's shoulder. My dad stood by the fireplace, arms crossed, his face red. "What's going on?" I asked. Madison looked up, eyes swollen with tears. For just a second, I saw something cold behind those tears. Then it was gone. "Tell her what you told us," my dad said, his voice ice. Madison's lip trembled. "Why have you been spreading rumors about me at school? About me and Jake? About me cheating? About me being a liar?" I didn't know what she was talking about. "Madison, I never." "Don't lie to her," my mom said. "I didn't spread any rumors. I don't know what you're talking about." Madison pulled out her phone. "Then explain this." She showed a screenshot from a group chat. Messages I'd supposedly sent. Vicious stuff about Madison. Things I would never say. But there was my name, my profile picture. "I didn't write those," I said desperately. "Someone's using my account." "Stop," my dad said, his voice like thunder. "Just stop lying." "I'm not lying," I insisted. "And Jake?" Madison whispered. "You knew I liked him. But you've been flirting with him." "He asked me for help with chemistry," I explained. "That's all." "You've been staying after class with him, meeting him at the library?" Madison's voice rose. "And last week you pushed me on the stairs. Look." She pulled up her sleeve. A bruise on her forearm. Dark purple. "I never touched you," I said. "You did," she said, looking at my mom. Mom stood up and moved between us. "Olivia, this is serious." "Then how did she get that bruise?" my dad demanded. "I don't know. Maybe she did it herself." The words hung like poison. Madison's eyes went wide, fresh tears. "You think I'd hurt myself to frame you?" "Yes," I was shouting now, desperate. "Yes, because you lie. You've been lying about me for years. Is this true, Olivia?" My dad stepped toward me. "You've been bullying your sister?" "No." "God, no. Please, just listen." "I've heard enough," my dad said. "Enough. You're sick. Something's wrong with you." The word hit like a slap. "Sick. I'm not," I said. "You need professional help," he said. "But right now," he pointed to the door, "I need you out of my sight. Get out. I don't need a sick daughter like you in this house." The words carved into me. I grabbed my jacket. My hands were shaking so hard I could barely zip it. The door slammed behind me. I could see Madison watching me leave through the window. She was smiling. The rain hit me like a wall. Within seconds, I was soaked. I stood on the porch, waiting. Maybe my dad would come after me. The door stayed closed. I started walking. Nowhere to go. Just away from that house, away from Madison's lies, away from parents who believed I was sick. My phone buzzed. Low battery. I tried calling friends. No answer. Everyone was home with families. The wind whipped my hair. Rain came down in sheets. I headed toward the library. It was closed. I headed toward the bus station 2 miles away. I walked. Every step was heavy. My shoes were soaked. I was so cold my teeth chattered. I didn't see the headlights until it was almost too late. I was crossing at an intersection. The light was green, but the rain was so hard and the wind was howling. The car came out of nowhere. Headlights blinding, a horn blaring, brakes screeching. I tried to jump back. I wasn't fast enough. The impact threw me sideways. My body hit the hood, then the pavement. My head cracked against the asphalt. Pain exploded through my skull. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. Rain poured into my mouth, my eyes. Everything was sideways, wrong. I heard a car door slam, footsteps running. "Oh my God," a woman's voice, panicked. "Sweetheart, can you hear me?" I tried to answer. Nothing came out. "Don't move, stay still. I'm calling 911. Her hands were on my shoulder. "Gentle, what's your name?" I blinked, tried to focus. Her face was blurry, dark hair, rain streaming. She looked familiar. My parents? I managed. Your parents? I'll call them. They don't. I coughed, tasted blood. They don't want me. Her face changed. What? They kicked me out. Said I'm sick. She stared at me. I saw something shift in her expression. Recognition maybe, or horror. You're going to be okay, she said. But her voice shook. I promise you're going to be okay. Sirens got closer. Her face was the last thing I saw before everything went black. I don't remember the ambulance or arriving at the hospital. My first clear memory is sound, beeping machines, fluorescent lights, antiseptic smell, and a voice. The woman from the accident. She has a severe concussion, possible internal bleeding. You need to keep her for observation. I'm staying, that voice said. Firm now. I'm not leaving her alone. Ma'am, are you family? I'm the one who hit her with my car. I'm staying until her parents arrive. Time passed. I drifted in and out. At some point I heard new voices. We're Olivia Sterling's parents, my dad said. The woman's voice again. Cold. Professional. I'm Dr. Eleanor Smith. You're a professor at the State University. I'm the Dean of Graduate Studies, actually. Her tone cut glass. I'm the one who hit your daughter with my car tonight. It was an accident, my dad said quickly. We don't blame you. She was alone at night in a major storm. Why was she out there? Dr. Smith's voice rose. She was 15 years old. Silence. Mr. Sterling, I asked you a question. We had a family situation. A discipline issue. A discipline issue, Dr. Smith repeated slowly. What kind of discipline involves putting a child out in a storm? Your daughter told me something before she lost consciousness. She said her parents didn't want her anymore. You're lying, Madison's voice, small and scared. Olivia's making that up. Dr. Smith's voice rose. The moment you sent a minor out in a storm, it stopped being private. I felt her hand on mine, warm, protective. I'm not leaving until I know she's safe. A police officer spoke. Mr. Sterling, we need to ask questions. Your daughter was hit by a car at 11 p.m. in a major storm. She's 15 years old. Why wasn't she home? I tried to open my eyes. Dr. Smith noticed. She's waking up. Everyone out now, she said. They're our daughter, my dad started. And I'm the doctor in this room. Out. When I woke up 3 days later, my parents were gone. Dr. Smith was still there. She'd kept her promise. The concussion was severe. I spent 4 days in the hospital. Dr. Smith came every day, brought books, talked to me about college and futures. My parents visited once, brought clothes and schoolwork. They stood awkwardly at my bed. We're glad you're okay, my mom said. My dad nodded. Neither said sorry. Neither explained. Madison didn't come at all. On day 5, a social worker came. Her name was Rita. She had kind eyes and asked gentle questions. I told her everything, Madison's lies, my parents choosing her. Rita listened. Olivia, you have options. You don't have to go back. Where else would I go? Dr. Smith knocked on the door. She could stay with me. Foster placement, temporary if you want. She looked at Rita. I've already started the paperwork. Why would you do that? My voice cracked. You don't even know me. Dr. Smith sat on my bed. Because someone once did it for me. When I was 17, my family kicked me out. A teacher took me in, changed my life. She touched my hand. You're brilliant, Olivia. You have potential most kids never dream of. Don't let anyone tell you you're sick. Don't let anyone dim that light. I started crying. I made my decision in that hospital room. I chose different. 6 months later, I was a different person. Dr. Smith's house was quiet, organized, full of books and plants. She gave me the guest room and said I could decorate however I wanted. I transferred schools, started fresh. No one knew about my family. I was just Olivia. Smart, focused, finally free. Eleanor exposed me to a world I'd never seen. University lectures, research symposiums, dinners with professors. Education is freedom, she'd say. Knowledge is power. No one can take that from you. I threw myself into school. Straight A's were proof I wasn't sick, wasn't broken. By my senior year, I had a plan. College, major in education policy, build something to help kids who fall through the cracks. I got a full scholarship. I majored in education policy and social justice, minored in psychology. I graduated summa cum laude. Eleanor cried at my ceremony. At 25, I had an idea. A scholarship program for students from difficult family situations. I called it Second Chances Scholarship. Eleanor helped me write grant proposals. We secured funding, launched the program at 5 universities. By 27, we'd awarded over $200,000, helped 47 students stay in school, stay alive. One day, my colleague David knocked on my office door. "Olivia, you're being considered for keynote speaker at a graduation ceremony." "Which university?" "Riverside State University." My stomach dropped. "That's my sister's school. Do you want me to decline?" I stared at my desk. 47 students, 47 second chances. "No, I'll do it." That night, Eleanor and I talked over dinner. I want to close the chapter properly, not with anger, with truth. Eleanor squeezed my hand. "Then do it on your terms with your head held high." I called David the next morning. "Tell President Walsh I accept." The morning of the ceremony, I dressed carefully. Navy suit, Eleanor's grandmother's pearl necklace. I looked confident, successful, nothing like the soaked 15-year-old who'd been told she was sick. The campus was beautiful, students in caps and gowns everywhere, families taking photos. Excitement. I arrived early, met President Walsh. He was warm. "Ms. Sterling, we're honored to have you. Your work is extraordinary." Eleanor arrived in an emerald dress. She hugged me tight. "You've got this." "I know," I smiled. Head high, truth clear. President Walsh stepped to the podium. "Welcome, graduates, families, and honored guests. Today we celebrate achievement, resilience, and potential of our students. Our keynote speaker has dedicated her career to ensuring that every student, regardless of circumstance, has access to opportunity. Please welcome Ms. Olivia Sterling, Director of the Second Chances Scholarship Program." I stepped into the light. The stage was massive. I walked with measured steps, confident, calm. My heels clicked against the floor, and then I saw them. Row 3, Madison in cap and gown. She was clapping, smiling, then looked up and saw me. Her hands froze, her smile faltered, confusion crossed her face, then recognition, then shock. Behind her, my parents still clapping, not looking closely yet. I reached the podium, adjusted the microphone. "Good morning. It's an honor to be here today." My voice carried clear across hundreds of people. My dad's head jerked up. My mom's hand went to her chest. "Today, I want to talk about resilience. Let me tell you about a 15-year-old girl. She was told she didn't belong, that something was fundamentally wrong with her, that she was too broken to keep." Whispers rippled through the crowd. One night, in the middle of a storm, she was put out, told to leave, told she wasn't wanted. She wandered alone for hours. No phone, no money. She was hit by a car, nearly died. But someone stopped. Someone helped. Someone saw potential where everyone else saw problems. That person became her family, her mentor, her mother in every way that mattered. I paused. That 15-year-old girl was me. The auditorium went silent. My dad stood halfway. My mom pulled him back down. Madison had gone completely still. "I'm here today because Dr. Eleanor Smith didn't give up on me when my own family did. She taught me that rejection isn't the end. It's a beginning." The Second Chances Scholarship was born from that experience. It exists for students who've been told they're not enough, who've been dismissed, abandoned. I looked directly at Madison, because being rejected doesn't define you. What you do afterward does. That scholarship has helped 47 students. Family isn't always biology. Sometimes it's choice. Sometimes it's the people who choose you when others walk away. Eleanor wiped her eyes and smiled. "I learned that you don't need everyone to believe in you. You just need one person. One person who sees past the surface, past the accusations, past the lies." Madison's face crumpled. She looked down, shoulders shaking. Success isn't about proving people wrong. It's about building something meaningful despite them. My dad's hands were trembling. My mom was crying silently. Your worth is not determined by who stays. It's determined by how you grow after they leave. You will face rejection, disappointment, people who underestimate you. But you get to decide what happens next. You get to choose who you become. Standing ovations started slowly, then built. Students standing, faculty, families. My dad stayed seated, pale. My mom stood, clapping weakly. Madison didn't move. I slipped out a side door, met Eleanor. You did it, she said, hugging me tight. David appeared. Olivia, that was powerful. Your parents are asking to see you. I'll talk to them on my terms. Eleanor squeezed my hand. I walked toward my family. My dad's face was gray. My mom's makeup smeared. Madison behind them, eyes red. You wanted to talk? My dad's mouth opened, closed. We didn't know you'd be here. We owe you an apology. You owe me more than that. You should have protected me. You chose Madison's lie over my truth. You called me sick. We were wrong, my dad said. We regretted that night every day for 13 years. Good. Can we fix this? No. You made your choice. I made mine. We're done. Madison's voice was small. I'm sorry. You were old enough to know what you were doing. David appeared with a folder. These are next semester's applications. My dad's eyes fixed on it. You really did all this? Yes. My mom opened the folder, her face crumpled. 200 students, 47 so far, expanding. You're a director? Senior director. Since last month, President Walsh joined us. Are you Olivia's family? You must be so proud. Silence. They are, Eleanor said smoothly. My dad stared at me. We had no idea. You never asked. You erased me. Why would you know? Madison's friends approached. Madison, one girl touched her arm. Is that true? Is she your sister? You said you were an only child. Last year you said she died. Madison's face flushed. I don't hate you, Madison, I said. I forgive you for my own peace. But I don't want a relationship. We walked away. The following weeks, my speech went viral. The Second Chances Scholarship expanded to 10 universities. We'd helped 83 students. I was promoted to senior director. My dad sent one final email. We're proud of you, even if we have no right to be. I didn't respond. People ask if I regret that night. The storm, the pain. I don't. Because it led me here, to this life, this work, this family I chose. Not every story has a happy ending like mine. I'm lucky. Dr. Eleanor Smith found me, chose me, saved me. But everyone gets to set boundaries. You don't owe toxic people your presence, not even if they're family. Forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. You can forgive someone while keeping them out of your life. Blood doesn't make family. Choice does. Eleanor showed up every day for 13 years. She earned the title Mom. My biological parents showed up once. Failed. Never tried again. Success isn't about proving people wrong. It's about building something meaningful despite them. Your worth isn't determined by who stays. It's determined by how you grow after they leave. If you're in a storm right now, know this. You can survive it. You can thrive after it. Just because someone gives up on you doesn't mean you give up on yourself. Set your boundaries. Choose your family. Build your purpose. Never let anyone tell you you're too sick, too broken, or too much. You're exactly enough. Thank you for listening. You matter. If this story helped you, please like and subscribe. Your support helps these stories reach others who need them. Remember, you define your worth, nobody else. Take care of yourself.